Today I'm going to show you how to remove a power supply from a computer case. It's going to be a very easy tutorial, very quick one as well. HealMyTech and welcome, this is Ash from HealMyTech, and if you want to unleash your true potential, start by subscribing, enable the bell notification icon so I can help you go from newbie to techie, and please consider using my Amazon affiliate links in the description below. A couple of precautions you should take. First, always try to work on a non-static surface, like wood is good. Otherwise, you could wear an anti-static bracelet. I don't tend to use them. What I prefer to do is have a power supply connected through to the mains but switched off, so occasionally I touch this to be able to discharge your static electricity before you touch your components. Okay, obviously to remove your power supply, make sure you switched it off and unplugged your power supply cable. Now the only tools you're going to need is probably a screwdriver, unless you've got thumb screws like I have in this case, and you may need a scissor or a cutter to cut some of the maybe zip ties that you have. Okay, whatever you may have, right? That's about it really. It's a simple process. I'm going to show you very quickly, so come over. So the only things that you're going to need to be concerned with are what's called SATA power cables. You need to find them to remove them. Sometimes there are Molex also cables, which are dreadful old stuff. They should ban these things. And then what you're going to need to be concerned with are the PCI cables that connect your graphics card, if you've got any. You're going to need to know about your 24-pin motherboard connection. Some older motherboards, low power ones, may have 20 pins only. And down here at the top right, or the top left for you guys, you're going to need to know about the 4-pin or the 8-pin CPU connector. These are the main things really to be concerned about. Now there are some other stuff which you may think is to do with power supply, but it's not. Like for example, these are 4 pins for fans from the front case, which do not connect to the power supply. Not necessarily, they connect directly onto the motherboard, but sometimes there could be a connection onto like an adapter to your power supply. So you've got to kind of work in order really, and make sure you're not just whipping things off your case. Right, so where should you start? What I would advise is first to do is to disconnect anything that you can access easily. Obviously open up your case, put it on a flat surface. This is another thing I think people do wrong all the time. They work like this, vertical. I don't advise this for a lot of reasons. If you can, you should try and work flat. You have a lot of access into it, especially when you take out graphics card. You work vertical, there's a chance when you unscrew this you may drop stuff, and it gets, it's quite awful. Now don't be afraid of dropping screws on your motherboard. If it's disconnected, if you've not done anything dodgy, you should be fine. Right, how I'm going to start, obviously this case has pass-through cable through the opening or the cutouts at the back. So what you should do, I would advise, is get your case and turn it around, open up the side panel. Now in our case right now, I haven't got any cable that is going through to the top right corner for the CPU pin, but that's what I would start with if I was you, to disconnect things from the back. But I do have the big thick 24-pin motherboard connector, and this is the graphics card connector. So I'm going to start by unplugging the 24-pin down here. If you can see this, just clip it and pull off. Okay, before I do this, discharge myself from static electricity. Let's just pull this off. There you go, that comes off very easily. And next I'm going to disconnect the 6 and 8-pin PCIe cable. That's done. And obviously we're going to need to remove the 8-pin CPU plug, and that's done. And this is for the back fan. It's not connected to the power supply, and it's more connected to the motherboard, so we don't need that. So just kind of make sure nothing is left in. Now we're not taking off the motherboard, but if you feel you need to disconnect stuff from the motherboard, feel free to do so, but we're not taking anything off from the motherboard. The SATA cables, usually you do not need to disconnect from the motherboard, unless these are kind of tied up together with the rest of the cables, then you may need to disconnect them. But in my case, we don't need to. So the 3 main things I disconnected was the 24-pin motherboard, the 8 and 6-pin PCI, and the 8-pin CPU. Now as far as the back is concerned, let's go to the back. I've only got one thing connected right now, and that is the power cable for the SATA connectors for one of the hard drives. So I'm going to disconnect this. You may have more than one hard drive, so that's easy peasy. And this is as much as I have connected for this case. Now all you need to do is to pass these cables back into the cut out and I'm pulling it from the other end, right? Now obviously this is a non-modular power supply, which means I have to do this. If you had a modular power supply, you would be able to disconnect cables from the side here. So that should be a bit more easy, I'm guessing. But the traditional one's a bit more daunting. And next I'm going to do this one, push through. Hope you can see. Yeah. And it comes out at the back, very easy. Well, you know, not that easy, but if you've got a decent case, it does help. This is why a higher end case is much more helpful. Not higher end, but a slightly better quality. Now let's do the PCI graphics card cable. Okay. If for some reason you're having problem pushing them through these rubber grommets, you can remove the rubber grommets. It will make more space, and you can just keep pushing out everything. And that's kind of it. Now, because I had pushed through these cables through the openings, I'm just gonna pull again, and voila. And that's the advantage of working in a mid-tower case, standard size. It gives you a lot of space to maneuver. Okay, and now I believe I've got all the cables that I need. If there's any cables entwined, make sure you get these out of the way. There you go. And that is the bunch. You can see this is the full bunch, which is connected directly to the power supply. That's the whole lot. There's nothing else. Obviously I know this computer quite well. I've built it, and if you're familiar with it, you should know what's remaining or not. So it will help if you've got all the cables, put it out of the way. And if you want to be even more organized, get like a zip tie or a twisty tie, or in my case I'm using a Velcro just to kind of tie this, so then it's not going to get in my way anymore, and I know that this will come off together. Now all we need to do is remove these thumb screws. You may have traditional screws, in which case you're going to need a screwdriver. Even this one you can use, yeah, but the beauty of using thumb screws is that you can easily dismantle. I highly recommend, if you're into PC building, to get thumb screws. Maybe not these ones, these are normal ones. Maybe there's some better ones you can get. Now all you need to do, depending on your case, this one is just going to come off very easily. So pull out and you're done. And now we're going to show a big version of me. And there we go, power supply is taken out, very easy. And if I can show you a slight comparison with a different case on this side, this one is another case, but this is a bit more awkwardly put, which means you have to do the same principle, get take off all the cables that's connected first, but then there might be a slot at the bottom. Once you remove the screws, just kind of maneuver it. Some power supplies, depending on how you've put them, you may need to take off your cooler or at least the fan to be able to remove them, depending on the case, but hopefully you shouldn't have to do this. There you go. So that was quite easy peasy. I hope you've learned something. It obviously is a very basic skills to have, and the reason to do this is a lot of times with power supplies comes a lot of issues with your computer. So if you learn how to change a power supply very easily, get yourself a good brand with good warranty, good return policy, and try to avoid the non-branded cheap knockoff ones, especially those power supplies which are not rated for continuous wattage. Okay, you don't want peak wattage, you want continuous wattage, so go for branded ones and you should be fine. And this Troubleshoot in and of itself, these little repair skills will save you so much money, because a lot of problems come from power supply. And I'm going to link you a video up there to show you a couple of videos, especially my one of my kind of recent ones where we had a lot of trouble for 2 weeks. My computer was crashing and I misdiagnosed at first, but it turns out it was the power supply. So if you learn how to do this, you are going to save money and you will keep your computer for longer, and no one will be able to con you. I'm going to put this as a standalone video. We've got a longer series at the moment, One PC to Rule Them All challenge series, the show where I give you full responsibility to decide every aspect of my next PC build. So at the end of every video, we usually put a poll for you guys to vote on for the next episode of the video. So for this one, the reason I took this off was because this was the wrong power supply for this case, and I'm actually going to swap this one, which is the 750 CX from Corsair. It's not a high-end power supply, but it will do the job. And also this is semi-modular, which means I will have better time cable managing the whole thing. So watch out for that video. It's coming up in part 18. I will try to put a link up there. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Watch out this video up there, which was selected by YouTube for you, and this troubleshoot series down here, which will help you troubleshoot all your computer problems. And before you go, consider subscribing, give me a like, leave me a comment, and use my affiliate links in the description below. Once again, this was Ash, helping you go from newbie to techie. Until next time, peace out.